there, welcome back once again to Selena's Corner. This is me, Selena, all set to guide you through the MCQs of course 201. In this video, we will be discussing Unit 4 of this course. But before we do, let me tell you, if you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell. And if you are an existing subscriber watching this video, thank you very much. Please continue supporting. So now let's begin with MCQ number 1. Registers, books, files, etc. that contain information about students, staff, finance of the school, building, correspondence, etc. are called dash. Option A, school administrative file. Option B, school records. Option C, school register. And option D, general register. The correct answer is option B, school records. Maintaining these records are one of the responsibilities of a school. All the records that the teaching staff and the administrative staff maintains about students, the school and its staff are all included under the school records category. Question 2. Which of the following is not an advantage of school records for the student? Now you see, school records are important not only to the school but also to the teachers and the pupils. So out of the options, we have to find out which is not an advantage to the student. Option A, to provide appropriate learning activities. Option B, to do his best in making a good record. Option C, to make progress in accordance with his ability. And option D, to secure transfer of correct information to other schools when needed. Now, I think it is pretty obvious that the correct answer will be option A, to provide appropriate learning activities, because this particular point is an advantage for the teacher. She gets to know the pupils properly because of the school records, and that is how she comes to know which learning activity will be suitable for the kids. The other three options, that is B, C, and D, are all advantages for the student. Question 3. School records are of two types. They are option A, legal and binding, option B, administrative and teaching, option C, compulsory and non-compulsory, option D, statutory and non-statutory. The correct answer is option D, statutory and non-statutory. Over here, statutory records are those records that are mandatory by the law, and non-statutory are of private use to the schools, but they are equally useful to them. Question 4. The dash is like a mirror of all activities of the school. It gives information of dates of events, functions, tests, holidays, etc. Option A, class timetable. Option B, general register. Option C, school calendar. And option D, service book. It's very easy to guess. Correct answer is option C, school calendar. This is the only book where we have information of all these dates in a single place. Question 5. Which of the following is not a school record? Option A, class timetable. Option B, students attendance register. Option C, charts file. Or option D, lesson plan. Option A, B and D are all school records. So option C is not a school record. Question 6. What are co-curricular activities? Option A, activities that the teacher coordinates and does along with the co-teacher of that grade. Option B, activities that supplement and complement the main syllabus. Option C, activities that are connected to the curriculum. And option D, activities done to make the curriculum work interesting and effective. The correct option is option B, activities that supplement and complement the main syllabus. Activities such as drama, debates, scouts, drills, etc. All these serve the purpose of giving intellectual training, moral education, physical education, and also aesthetic training. So academic work is only one small part of the curriculum, and all these also form parts of the curriculum. So earlier all these activities were called extracurricular activities. But now they are called co-curricular activities because they complement the um, academic work, and both of them deserve equal weightage and emphasis. Question 7. Which aspect of a child's personality can be developed with activities such as musical performances, drawing and painting, art exhibitions, etc.? So, as I told you in the last slide, each curricular activity has some purpose. So, different curricular activities serve different purposes. Example, activities such as mass drills or athletics, they serve the purpose of physical development of the child, right? Similarly, activities mentioned in this question, that is musical performance, drawing and painting, they serve a purpose. Which is that we have to figure out. Option A, aesthetic development. Option B, literary training. Option C, intellectual development. Or option D, motor development. The correct answer would be aesthetic development. Question 8. Which activity can be conducted to promote moral and spiritual development? Options are option A, toy making, option B, morning assembly, option C, Red Cross and first aid services, option D, fancy dress. Here, option A, that is toy making, is motor development. Red Cross and first aid would be social welfare, and fancy dress is aesthetic development. So, correct answer is morning assembly. This is where the child listens to his principal or teachers talk about morally influencing speeches or correct codes of conduct and such. Question 9. Which of the following statements is untrue regarding co-curricular activities? For this type of questions, we usually go point-wise, so let's do that. Point 1. It helps to channelize the surplus energy into constructive and creative activities. So this statement is true regarding co-curricular activities. Point 2. It supplements the theoretical knowledge gained in the classroom. This is also true. Third, it trains the child to utilize his leisure time effectively. This point is also true. Point 4, it develops social traits such as cooperation, mutual understanding, etc. Point 4 is also true. So basically, all 4 points are true, and hence our correct answer would be option D, none of the above. None of the above options are untrue. Question 10. As a teacher, which of the following roles would you play for the successful organization of any co-curricular activity? Point 1. Friend. Yes, as a friend, you would motivate the students to participate and also take care of them in case of any injury or something. Point 2. Guide. Yes, if there are any problems or anything, the students will naturally look at the teacher for guidance, so you would act as a guide. Point 3, advisor. Correct. As a teacher, you would advise the headmaster on matters relating to the co-curricular activities and for its success. Point 4, budget maker. Also correct. Whatever activity is under your charge, you would prepare the budget for that. Point 5, onlooker. No, this is not a role that you would be expected to play because you're not supposed to just look at what is happening around and not actively take part in it. Point 6, participant. Now, participant is not a role that a teacher needs to play. Yes, in certain activities like, say, suppose sports like football or volleyball or something, you can participate, but that is not an active role that a teacher plays in any co-curricular activity or in its success. So, point 6 is also not true. Point 7, motivator. Also correct. It is the teacher's responsibility to motivate the students to take part in the co-curricular activities. And point 8, organizer. This is also one of the roles of a teacher. The headmaster is the chief organizer, but basically the teacher is the one who does almost everything of it. So she is the real organizer of the co-curricular activities. So looking at what markings we have done, the correct answer would be Option D, all except points 5 and 5. Sorry, 6. Guys, I would be uploading the rest of the MCQs in a couple of days, okay? So till then, continue studying and do write in the comments if you have some issues or queries. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.